Thank you.
I understand you had to catch a flight to be here with us today, so we appreciate your traveling efforts, right?
Yep.
You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us.
Here with y'all.
So Jasmine, you know, I think we first took notice of you, well, I did myself a few years back in ATL at a pool party, you know. You went viral with the cucumber.
Yes,
Okay.
indeed.
And ever since then, you know, I've kind of followed you, you know, throughout your, you know, your social medias. And so it's a pleasure to be able to talk to you live in the flesh.
Pleasure is all mine. Take those off.
So let's just start with, you know, the basics. Miss Banks, can you tell us where you're from?
So I am from Peoria, Illinois.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. 309.
Yes, just around the corner from y'all.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. But tell us what it was like for you growing up in Peoria.
So growing up in Peoria, I started sex work pretty early.
Okay.
Yeah, I got into sex work at around 15, 16.
Wow.
I went to the military at like 17. You know, Peoria is, you know, they say it's kind of like Chicago in a box a little bit. You know, there's violence, gun violence, you know, so, you know, I grew up in a rough part, the south side of Peoria. I didn't really get along with my parents, so I left home at about 13, 14 and just kind of like been on my own since then.
Really?
Yeah. But when I went to the military and when I got out, that's when I started like dancing. So I was a dancer for a while in Peoria. There's like 3 strip clubs, all, you know, throughout the whole Peoria. And they are, they cater to white men.
Right.
So that's what I was used to before I moved to Atlanta.
Right.
You know, I catered to white men. I didn't even really want to dance for black guys because I felt like they didn't really want to spend no money or whatever. But when I moved to Atlanta, I was introduced to a completely different, like, you know, realm of the industry. That's when I learned about OnlyFans and started OnlyFans. I was still dancing, you know, just trying to figure out what I was going to do or whatever. I met a friend of a friend who actually, I think I could be getting this wrong, but I feel like her, you know, I'm not going to say the name. I just know that she wrote a book called How to Eat a Banana.
Okay.
And, you know, I was doing some, you know, work with her, doing some classes, in-person classes. But, you know, classes for women, parties and things like that. And we actually did them at Young Jocks Club at the time.
Okay.
I think it was called the Venue or whatever.
Okay.
So through her, like she was working at the radio that Young Jock was working with.
Okay.
And, you know, just, you know, through her, Jock and everyone, that's how I ended up, or that's how Troubles people, you know, somehow found out about me and asked me to do, you know, the cucumber challenge video or whatever. And I knew nothing about social media at this time. Like I said, I had my OnlyFans, but I made like $92 my first month. So yeah, I did this video, and the video, you know, like you said, it went viral. I wasn't expecting it at all. It changed my life. Changed my life, definitely. And I just been kind of like riding that wave since, you know.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I just want to unpack some things that you shared with us, starting with you running away from home at age 13. Yeah. So did you have any siblings when you
I do have siblings, but my siblings are older than me, and they're all like I have one sibling that my mom had or whatever, but my dad is the one who had all the kids, and we all got different moms. And I think my sibling that's closest to me in age is probably like 7 or 8 years older than me.
Okay.
So
Wow,
like I'm the
okay, so you grew up kind of like by yourself.
Oh yeah, none of my siblings were in the house with me, or my dad.
So can you tell us what made you run away?
I did not.
And where did you go?
Okay, well, so I didn't like being at home. My mom was depressed and dealing with abusive men and things like that or whatever. So being at home just wasn't comfortable for me. The first couple, I've slept outside. You know, I've run away multiple times. I ran away so much when I was in middle school that the school found out about it, and they called a meeting with my parents and basically told my mom that I could move in with the school nurse. Now, I had seen the school nurse, you know, passing by in the hallways and things like that. Her name was Gina. So shout out to Gina. She probably never see this, but like I said, I had seen her before, but I really didn't know her. You know what I'm saying? But that was the option that that the school gave or whatever. So it was either move in with the nurse to finish out the remainder of the school year, or they were going to call DCF. It's called DCFS where we're from, CPS or whatever. So my 8th grade year, I ended up moving with the school nurse, and that was cool for a minute. I was bad. You know, by that time I was sexually active. I was smoking weed. I was doing all kind of stuff that I shouldn't have been doing in 8th grade. So when I moved in with her, of course, that kind of like slowed down a little bit. But living with her, I had a friend who lived down the street, and we were practicing for a talent show. Mm-hmm. This is where I met my first trick.
Okay.
This is where I met my first trick. I'm at her house, and you know, we're practicing. We're doing dance practice or whatever, and he came there to visit her mom's boyfriend, and he saw me or whatever, asked me if I wanted to ride on his motorcycle, and of course I want to ride on it. So I took a little ride or whatever, got back to the house, and by the time he left, he had offered me $50 to eat my coochie.
And this?
Yes, and this was a grown man.
Right, and how old were you at this time?
I was 13, 14, 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah. So it didn't happen right then and there, but I did get his information or whatever, and he ended up being a huge trick in my life. Like, he had me driving his car to high school, to my freshman year to high school. You know, gave me money all the time. And I mean, he wasn't like no, you know, I'm 15 years old. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with a couple dollars here and there. You know, So yeah.
Wow. So I guess that answers the question I was going to ask you, because when I heard you were sexually active in 8th grade, it made me wonder if you were having sex with boys your age or grown men.
Both. You know, growing up, you know, I don't know what it was, but, you know, I don't know if it was you know, an issue with me mentally or what, but I was hypersexual. Okay. And, you know, I thought by, you know, having sex with these guys, or, you know, and before I ever had sex,
okay.
Like, that was my first.
How old were you when you did that?
I was probably 12,
okay.
13. Like, I was afraid to have sex. So that's what I started out doing, was or whatever. Like, I had already created a bad reputation for myself in middle school, which made it like hard to, you know, I didn't want to go to school, you know what I'm saying?
But they was calling you a hoe?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I was.
In middle school?
In middle school.
So you was known as like the school bust down?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And it made it, you know, hard to have relationships with girls. It made it hard to have relationships with everybody, you know, because girls don't like me because I'm nasty and this and that with the bam. And guys, all they want is, you know, what they can get, and when they get it, next day at school, now I'm the talk of the school, and, you know, just never. I never had good relationships with kids.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4. Yep.
A mother of 4. A sex worker mother of 4.
Sex worker mother of 4. that child that I was just speaking of, she graduated high school this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. You know,
Tell us the challenges of motherhood.
You know, I feel like I never was able to take the time to, really focus on my kids. You know what I'm saying? The type of focus that you're able to do, because I didn't stay with any of my kids' fathers. So, raising my kids as a single, I don't really like to call myself a single mother, because like I do have help, you know what I'm saying? Their fathers aren't just completely absent, they could do more, but they do what they can, and I appreciate that. But I feel like sex work definitely put us in a better position, but like not being able to really focus on them the way that I would have liked to more, that's definitely one of the challenges of it. But my 18-year-old, she knows about what I do or whatever. She found out when the cucumber video went viral. And we had some issues. We had some things that we had to talk about. And we got past that or whatever. So I really wouldn't say that sex work, besides for, like I said, the time and, whether I did sex work or whether I was putting my focus into another career, I don't feel like it would have made a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I messed up at is having kids early, not being, financially stable already. That's where I messed up at. So I feel like sex work definitely put us in a position that I probably wouldn't have been able to achieve going down, a green path or 9-to-5 path or anything like that.
So, were you ever like exposed to porn at a young age?
Oh yeah. My father was addicted to porn. So, and in the house that the first house that I grew up in when I was probably like 4 or 5, getting ready to go to, not even, in preschool, not even in kindergarten yet. We lived in a house where there were no doors. So you come in, you go straight to the kitchen, you go straight to their room. My room was right next to theirs. There's no doors connecting anything or whatever. So my dad would think that I'm asleep sometimes. He'll be up watching porn, I heard my parents having sex. They had magazines. I go to my cousin's house. My aunt's son, he was addicted to porn as well. He had porn magazines everywhere. We're badass kids, so when they're gone or whatever, we're snooping around, finding all their shit. Yeah, that's how it starts, right? So was there ever a situation where you were molested or anything, as far as? I've never been penetrated, but I have been touched by older male cousin. And one time, one of my mom's boyfriends tried to shave my coochie.
Tried to shave?
Yeah.
You say your mom boyfriend?
Yeah, my mom's boyfriend. He shaved my coochie. Or I don't think he actually. I think he got close up to it and supposedly got this epiphany, like, oh my God, but he definitely saw my coochie and was ready to shave it.
Really?
Yeah, guys are weird, and I one time he hit me up, this is after I had went viral or whatever. He had got in my DM or whatever, trying to kick it, and I'm like, bro, I remember what you did and this and that. He got pissed, you were, in so many words. I was asleep. And I was 13, 14.
But this what he telling you?
Oh yeah, and he was a grown man. He's telling me, I was fast, I was a slut, I was this and that, whopped the bam, as if I wanted his old ass. And in my face.
So when you say shave your pussy though, what do you mean?
Like and I mean, you know, this is a long time ago, but we were at home because he lived with us at the time. We were at home by ourselves. I can't go into like detail, but I remember him wanting to shave my coochie, but I don't think he actually did. I'm pretty sure that, you know, like I was about to let him, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, again, and I probably knew that it was wrong, but I think I was just like afraid to say no, or, you know, just didn't want to say no for whatever reason. But he didn't actually shave it. Like I said, he got like an epiphany or something. He's like, and he even talked like and this is when I was still a child. Like he even talked to me after, like, oh, that was wrong. I shouldn't have did that, and this and that, whop the bam. And I never told my mom about it or anything like that until I was older. I didn't tell my mom about any of the things that happened until I was older. And honestly, like it's so crazy, you know. There has been a lot of sexual abuse in my family. Okay. My dad was a rapist. My dad has been convicted of rape. He was accused of rape, and by a lot of my family members. And this is something that I never knew about until literally the day that he passed away. Like I said, my sisters and my brothers are all older than me, and he actually molested my sister's sister when she was young and went to jail for it. So, you know, I don't know why she didn't, you know, nobody wanted to tell me any of this before he passed, but found out about that. And, you know, he also has brothers that are in jail right now for sexual assault. So it's crazy for me to say, oh, all they did was this, as you know what I'm saying, because it's still wrong. But you know, on the scale of sexual abuse that I've heard other women talk about, and you know, even my family members and things like that, it feels like minute to just be touched. But I mean, I know it's wrong or whatever, and like I said, I have faced those demons as an adult. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. The reason why I asked is because, you know, we've interviewed several sex workers before, and it seems like the common denominator between all of them is like sexual abuse at a young age. You know, some have been molested, and you know, so they grow up and, you know, become sex workers. You feel me? So when I listen to you speaking, you say, you know, like it run in your family. You know what I'm saying? It run in your family history. Like these are the things that nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's very interesting to myself. What I wanted to ask you next was like, you know, now that you are, you know, you're an active sex worker. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like you are fulfilling your purpose in life?
I definitely feel like I'm in a transition period. I've always, you know, had a passion to help the world in whatever way that I could. And, you know, once I started to, you know, build a platform and, you know, start seeing a little bit of money and start, you know, really seeing like, hey, you know, I can, you know, this is something that I could possibly really do, you know. Growing up in small Peoria, you know, there was a time in my life where I didn't even feel like I was good enough to go to college. And, you know, there came a time in my now in my career, and for a very long time I felt too good to go to college. Right. Now I want to be an entrepreneur. Now I want to, you know, just like, you know, pave my own way. I feel like I can. So to answer your question, I feel like I am on the right path.
Okay.
But I definitely do feel like there is there's definitely a calling for me that sex work is getting me to.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. For sure. Now, Ms. Banks, we know the most viral moment of your career, you know what I'm saying, thus far is the cucumber pool party, right, in ATL. A party hosted by Trouble, the RP school, right?
Yep.
Trouble. Ooh. You saying?
Yeah, I really never got the chance to like thank Trouble. You know, I literally that moment like changed my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like my brand has literally been like piggybacking off of that moment. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you take us back to that night and tell us how that whole day went for yourself?
Yeah. So a friend of a friend hit me up, told me about the song or whatever. She's like, look, I need you to do this video or whatever, suck on this cucumber and have this music playing in the background. And I'm like, okay, I'll have it for you this week. She's like, no, now, tonight, and like within the next hour. And I'm like, oh, okay. And like before then I had never, I was just getting my feet, my toe, the tip of my big toe wet in social media. You know, like my first month on OnlyFans, like I said, I only made $92. I had no idea how to do this shit or whatever. So did the video in my car. I stuck not one but two cucumbers, okay? Spit crazy, all of that. And the video went viral and I did not expect it at all. I think from that video, I got like possibly 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Wow. Damn, your shit went up.
Yeah, like I'm not even lying.
Freaks come out at night.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I was new, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I've never went viral like that. I've been viral a couple of times since then, but never like that, and I don't know if me being a new face had anything to do with it or if it's just...
It was the bald head. It was the bald head.
That, I don't know what it was, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I got a crazy, I remember going to Trouble's page and like reading the comments or whatever and seeing Boosie comment and I went nuts. I'm like, Boosie commented, oh my God. Yeah, and it felt a little weird because like I'm celebrating this cucumber sucking victory like with my mom, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah, like I was fucking hella happy. I was hella proud. I like my OnlyFans literally made like $5,000 in one night. Like,
that's a good night.
Yeah, I was super duper happy. And then fast forward to the actual pool party.
Right.
That was like crazy insane. I remember the DJ, Fly Guy DC.
Okay. That was the host.
The host, I'm sorry, my
right.
bad. The host, Fly Guy DC, with his fine ass. And I love him to death too. Cause I have to thank him too. Because he could have done this with any other girl. I don't know why he picked me. But, damn. Okay. Okay.
Go ahead, my bad.
All right, I'm just gonna say it. Okay, so we're all lined up and and we got our cucumbers, Trouble, Alexa Sky, our front and center. Everybody.
If I hit Alexa Sky, I'm a mother rocker. Okay, go ahead, my bad.
Okay, so like, and there's like hella people in the pool, but like, no, that like, and I said, I am not exaggerating at all. Everything was a blur for me except for Trouble and Alexa Sky. Like, so we get the sucking on the cucumbers or whatever. Like, I zero in on Alexa Sky, you know, she looking at me, she tapping Trouble, like, look at her, whatever. And maybe that's why Fly Guy DC decided to come up to me and he's like, lay down. So I lay down, lay back, and Alexa Sky takes my cucumber, or she has her own cucumber. One of the two. And she starts fucking me with it. Like, and like I said, I still don't have a real grasp on social media, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like we're having fun at this pool party, you know, and there was a contest. I think the prize was $3,000. I won that $3,000. The content from the pool party went viral again. When I finally looked at my phone, I had so many phone calls from so many people, creators, hitting me up like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing too much and this and that, whop the bam. And these same creators were, you know, promoting and, you know, doing cucumber content months to years later. I've seen identical videos from creators that talk shit about me doing that at that moment or whatever.
Right.
So yeah, and again, you know, I made that money from the pool party. I haven't made less than $15,000 on my OnlyFans since then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take me back. Take me back. I'm so sad that Trouble like isn't here. You know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like I always was grateful to him. You know what I'm saying? But I never like really got the chance to like give him like a heartfelt, you know, gratitude. You know what I'm saying? To like really let him know and you know, let him understand, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jasamine Banks would not be Jasamine Banks without him, honestly. Yeah, so, R.I.P. Hopefully you're listening.
That's what's up, man.
Our souls have to be connected in some type of way, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, you know, he was already a huge artist, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like that song, I feel like it was like one of his biggest songs. Thief in the Night was my favorite, but I feel like yeah, you know what I'm saying. But She's a Winner, like that summer, that was his summer. Yeah, it was our summer.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely a big record.
Yeah,
R.I.P. School for sure.
Yeah.
What's your favorite porn category?
Oh, that shit depends. I'm like a binge porn person. Like I might want to watch gay porn for a couple of months. I might want to watch DP. It's like, I feel like porn for me, like it like I might start out watching like girls with big clits getting their coochie ate. That's something that I like to watch. Girls with big clits or whatever. That turns me on. But it'll like...
You say big clits or big tits?
Big clits. Clitorises.
Okay.
You know? Okay. But...
With big clits, okay.
That like... Okay, so one time I'm watching that, and then I like stumble across this video where... And you know, I really need to educate myself on this, because every time I start talking about this, I get super nervous. Trans, okay? it went from like I'm looking up these big clip videos, and I stumbled across this video where it looks like this woman has this that is like so big, like it looks like okay, and like it's so hard. It's a white girl too. It's so hard to see, and it's like vintage porn. Like the clit looks long enough to be a woman sucking it, and what turns me on about it is like it just seems like this is like super duper sensitive, you know, like it literally, like, you know how when you pull the skin back on a, like how it just looks so sensitive or whatever. So anyways, so that video, I masturbate to that video for like a couple of weeks, and then it like graduates to more actual transvestite, because that woman or I feel like that person is an actual woman. She just has an extremely crazy but that it like graduates to chicks with dicks. That's how I'm gonna say it, just chicks with dicks. Now I like watching chicks with dicks because I like the way that they hump. Like it's different than like the way that actual men hump. So yeah, so that's another porn category. Like it just kind of like, that's how my porn desire works or whatever. I don't have like an actual.
So what's your favorite type of content to make?
Sucking.
Okay.
I love doing sucking content.
So you would consider yourself a throat goat?
Yes.
Okay.
Not self-proclaimed. That's what everyone considers.
I mean, because I've heard, you know, of several young ladies, you know, calling themselves the throat goat. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming it's like a popular phrase if you're good at giving oral sex, or like a popular term. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Lots of throat goats.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Jasamine Banks is a goat throat.
I'm a goat throat.
A throat
NECKATRON.
Goat. Is it throat goat or
what? The goat of throat goat.
I'm confused.
Goated throat, whatever.
Huh?
I am NECKATRON.
Ah, right. So NECKATRON.
Nectimus Prime.
Okay. So what is it that you enjoy the most about giving oral?
I love a man's like reaction to it. Like, I love a man who just acts like I am taking his entire soul with my mouth. Yeah. I'm a giver, you know. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
And how long have you been creating content?
I've been creating content since about October of 2018. Okay. I think that's when I made my OnlyFans, 2018 of October.
So do you work with like production companies, or do you do your own? Like, how does that work?
I have worked with Ricky Behavior. Okay. Which we shot a scene for Babes, but he shot it. So like, I guess sometimes when creators have affiliation with bigger production companies, they can shoot their own scene with the hopes that these bigger production companies pick it up. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's what we did. And he, you know, I don't know, but it ended up on Babes, okay. The one that me and Ricky did. And okay. Then yeah, I kind of consider Ricky a production company. Okay. I've shot twice with him. Right.
That's Ricky's Room, right?
I'm sorry?
It's called
Ricky's Room. Right. Yes, Ricky's Room.
Right.
I don't think I've shot with any other production company that I can think of right now.
So you haven't had like too many like on set type of.
No. You
know, like no brazers and nothing like that, right?
No.
So your content for the most part is between you and whatever male you choose?
True.
Okay. Yep. How do you pick your male talent?
So I will work with someone that has a following that I want to infiltrate. or whatever. I work with guys that I find sexually attractive, that look like their content turns me on. I work with creators that cater to the same thing that I cater to, so dick sucking. I work with guys that I have sex with in my personal life. And I don't know if this is a part of the question, but like I will let a guy book me for personal, like if it's just like a fan or something like that. But I don't do bookings where you can't book to shoot with me. Like I'm either gonna do a content trade or it's a personal booking where you can't record.
Okay, so you said you can't book to shoot with me. Right. Like, I can't book you to
You can't book me for a scene, basically. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so why is that a no?
Because if you book me for a scene, I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's somebody who I want to work with, and you're willing to book me for a scene and let me own the content, then
So, right. So you want the content.
Exactly, and that's why I only do content trades for content that I know I'm gonna post.
Okay. Okay, so that's interesting. So you're saying like no, like I can't tell. There's no offer. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
like if I say, hey, we want to shoot a scene with you, Because I'm thinking if I pay you for performing in the scene, there's my content. Ain't that how it work?
I had a guy hit me up the other day who was saying, and this is somebody who I found attractive, and I was considering doing this or whatever. He wanted to build his OnlyFans, and I have shot with smaller male creators, and I've had them tell me that I have, helped build their brand or whatever. So this guy hit me up, and he's like, do I think that he would do it? And I'm like, shit, yeah, you probably could or whatever. So I told him that for $10K we can shoot, you know what I'm saying, and I would get some of the content because I would need to promote him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, $10,000 and you want to, and I can own the content. We both own the content. I promote you. I, teach you the ins and out or whatever. Like, I think that would be a good price, but that's not something that's not something I will offer to everyone though. Like, it would have to be somebody who, like, you can't just be somebody who I'm not attracted, someone who I find ugly or, like you can't just be anybody. I can turn money down, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just like whatever comes to me, I'm taking. Yeah. But if it makes sense, I'm definitely.
Well, that's interesting because when we was talking to Janice, she was down there offering me $2,500 to do a scene with her.
When I contract guys out, I pay guys to be on my camera. Mm-hmm. So now I'm at the point where I pay guys $2,500. In the beginning, the first time I paid a guy was $300. But every time my money goes up, I pay the guys more and more. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just makes sense. Mm-hmm. Yes, they'll do it for free, but it's like I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But she keeping the content. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was kind of confused. Like, if you paying for the scene, don't you keep the content?
I mean, yeah, I would expect if someone wanted, because at the end of the day, like, if you don't keep the content, then you're in competition. We're in competition with selling it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
right.
And that's another reason why when I do content trades with other creators, we shoot 2 scenes.
Right.
So we're
one
not
for me, one for you.
Exactly.
Right.
So we're not in competition with each other. But it's too much. Like, I just can't see myself paying anybody to shoot because it's too many. Like, what?
Right.
Like, it's too much free dick out here. Like,
Right.
but you are worth it.
She like, you know, you got a following, you got, you know what I'm saying? She was kind of breaking it down.
So, okay, so like, it wasn't like a no face, no case sort of thing.
Right. It ain't like
you gonna promote it and let everybody know that you in it and everything.
Right. It was gonna be DJU and Janice Hart.
Oh, yeah, see, Janice is smart.
Yeah.
Janice
she almost had me.
Yeah, Janice is smart, you know. Because there is situations where that would work. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, shit, it's celebrities out here that I would pay to be in my content, but a lot of celebrities you can't. There's no amount of money that you can offer.
Cause like
for it to make sense.
Right. So let's talk about that. Right. Like you were just going viral, you know, with the football player, you know, from the Cowboys, right? And you know, like for yourself, if you was to do a scene with a fucking athlete, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit, you know, it'd go up. You know what I'm saying? So like it'd be like a, you know.
I feel like it'd be easier to do a scene with like a rapper,
right,
or you know, than an athlete.
Yeah, because they got more to lose for real, right?
Well, not even that. They have more people telling them what the fuck to do.
Right, that's what I mean. Like, you know, they got a lot more professional, corporate type.
Exactly. Yep. But I, you know, again, made a lot of money from that, from going viral. But the bad thing about that is now I got hella guys in my DM wanting to like get pegged and wanting to see pegging content. I've never pegged a guy in my life. I would, but I haven't. And now,
can you break it down for the viewers? What's peg?
So pegging is doing anal with a guy with the strap on.
So I mean, you as a woman, you will wear a strap on and
a guy in the ass.
That's interesting.
Yeah, you know, I think.
So you saying as guys hitting you up to they want to see those type of scenes?
They want to see it. They want it.
They want you to do it.
Yes.
They want you to perform it.
Yes.
On them.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Some brave new world.
That's deep.
Yes.
That's I think that's before right? 4?
Fine men. Okay, now let me ask you this real quick because I like this. I want to speak on this. When 4 was describing the first time he was he pegged or did he just get his booty played with? Did he say pegging specifically?
I definitely don't know none about that.
Oh, y'all didn't see the video? Y'all didn't see the interview?
Oh, no. I did not do my little research on that.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh,
well,
no.
I mean, I saw a clip. Okay, so I won't use him for an example, but like, I feel like I have heard guys say that the first time they ever do any type of anal play is when they meet a dominant woman who kind of like forces it on them, or whatever.
Okay.
And as a woman, I've tried anal, and I could not imagine, you know, it going any other way except for super duper slow, and you know what I'm saying? And so the fact that so many guys have said that makes me wonder, like do we have the same booty hole anatomy? You know what I'm saying? Like, are guys' booties looser than women? Because that's not the only thing, okay? I've also, this is complete, this is not even sexual, but let's talk about stuffing. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that when fist is?
No, this is like if a guy. This is like if a drug dealer has to hide drugs. Now, I was told a story a while back where this guy has some dope on him or whatever, and he had to stuff it. He went to jail, got back out, and when he pulled it from behind or whatever, it had shit stains on the bag. And so that at that point, because I always thought that you just put it in your booty crack, but you know, that story made me think that that guys actually put it in their booty holes, and maybe even like movies too have insinuated that guys put stuff in their butts in jail and visitors and stuff to like smuggle stuff. And it's like, I couldn't imagine having a virgin booty hole and having to put drugs or anything up there. So it makes me wonder, like, do guys open their do drug dealers open up their booty holes so they can put drugs in there if they need to? Because you wouldn't want the first time you want the first time you put up there. You wouldn't want the first time you put it up there to be when you need to. You want it to be like,
so you can make it happen. I know what you're saying.
you know,
Right. So you can put it up there. I'm following you.
like have y'all ever heard, like, is that what they do? Drug dealers.
I don't know if that's what they do.
Not if they prep the booty hole.
Well, no. Okay, well, not even prepping. No, I'm not even asking that. Do they put drugs in their butt?
Yes.
And up it.
Yes.
Not in the crack.
Yes.
In the hole.
Up it, yes.
Okay, that's crazy.
I have friends who do that shit.
Even just yeah,
that's wild.
I mean, how many pills though? Because you could die doing that.
That's what I was gonna say. What you say? You finna kill yourself?
I'ma just go to jail. But see,
I ain't putting nothing up there.
I will put. I feel like I could put a whole ounce of weed or anything like equivalent to that size. I feel like I could stuff that up my coochie.
I finna say,
Not the booty.
woo, I was finna say, you better not. Damn.
The
I thought
coochie
that
is
you-
my cabinet. I can put.
Okay.
Now I done put some shit up. I done put.
You
some
could put
shit
a
up.
whole. Okay, now you could put a whole ounce of weed up your coochie. Woo. You down to put the Great Wall of
maybe
China
a
through that
half
motherfucker?
ounce. Maybe and I feel like it depends on how it, you know, if it's like and it can't have like sticks and stuff in it. Like it got to be, and that's why I don't really like my weed to come in like those. I like my shit in a baggie. You know what I'm saying? So just in case, I got, you know, I can easily conceal it. I can't conceal them damn. Whoever started doing that, they fucked the game up. That's why everybody be getting caught.
For sure that freeze come out at night. But so what you been interested in doing some content with 4?
Yeah, I would. If he would let me peg him, and other things. And it doesn't just have to be pagan content. But I would like to learn from somebody who, like, would be patient. Like, you know, because like I said, it's not something that I've ever done before. So, like, I need to be taught before I can, like, or maybe not taught. I don't know. Like, I don't have a dominant personality, you know? And I feel like guys who want to get pegged don't usually want to get pegged by, like, you know, a sub. I'm a sub. I'm submissive. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm willing to peg, but it would just have to be somebody who, like, understands, like, my personality, and, like, I'm not about to try to force a personality that I'm not, which is like the dominant. I wouldn't even know what the fuck to say.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your take
Missionary,
on
you know.
vomiting on dick?
Oh, hell no. Cut.
No. What about like extreme amounts of spit?
Ah, you're doing too much.
Keep
You
it
ain't
in
even
the mouth
You
for
ain't even
you.
gotta do all that, you know?
Okay.
Just do what you gotta. Put a little twist on it.
And that's
Now
why I
you-
feel like I'm such a great dick sucker, because I feel like I could do it anyway, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of guys, I feel like more guys like to be drowned But I could keep it in my mouth too.
I mean, I feel like the drowning part is, I feel like that's more for the aesthetic. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Damn.
That's how I even started the niche that, you know what I'm saying? Because like before I even started shooting, so many guys would tell me that my head was so great. And most of the time, like when I'm getting ready to suck dick, guys always have to get a towel, you know, because the spit's always like running up and stuff like that. But they like that.
Right. Some men like it, yeah.
Yeah. But not all men, because I have definitely met
some men like it.
Yeah, I have definitely met guys that just
I don't like
keep
all
it
that. I don't like all that spit. Cause where you think that spit going? Straight
up your
down to the
butt.
asshole.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And you know what?
And that's how you get COVID.
I'm dead. Guys like assume that I want to be spit on because I do a lot of spitting, but that is not true. I don't want to be spit on at all.
Yeah, I don't like to spit either. So when I was doing my little research, I found out that your neck was so good it had niggas shooting out your crib. Mm-hmm. That's true?
You know, that's funny. I wouldn't say that it had anything to do with the neck.
Okay.
Because, you know, I would like to think that my neck was so good that it would make a man love me.
Right. Like not shoot, right?
You know,
but I mean, good head make a nigga do crazy shit.
You
now,
know, like I would hope, you know, and that's how good I want my neck to be, you know, to make a nigga just love me to death, give me everything I want, and, you know, but that nigga was psycho. We had been broken up for months, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he did drugs that night. I don't know what came over him to make him come to my house and do that, but yeah, it's a warrant out for his arrest, and I hope his ass gets caught. So
you had a situation in which a guy that you used to date came and shot up the place you were living? Yes, we were arguing on the phone. You know, nothing more or less than an argument. Then, you know, we had been together for 2 years. And so, yeah, we were just arguing back and forth through text message. I went to sleep, woke up to him kicking my door in. He kicked the door open. And I heard the gunshots outside or whatever, and called the police. He never came in the house. He just kicked the door open, shot around the outside of my house, and pulled off. And what's so crazy is another nigga drove him to my house to do that. So you got dumb and fucking dumber, you know what I'm saying, doing some irrelevant ass shit. And what he did, he really did it because he didn't think that I had cameras, but I did. I got it all on camera. Oh wow. Mm-hmm. Oh wow. So I just want to play a little game. It's called This or That, right? I'm gonna name a couple different things, and you can tell me, you know, if you're rocking with this one or you're rocking with that one.
Okay.
And we'll just start by like a sexual position, missionary or doggy style.
I like missionary.
Okay. So you like to look in the nigga eyes, stuff like that?
Well, what I really like is I like to be in missionary, but I like to have my heads back. My legs. I like to have my legs back. So that's still considered missionary, right? That's not.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll know better than me.
Yeah, you know, I like back shots. Don't get me wrong, but my pussy definitely gets wetter in missionary.
Okay. Dildo or vibrator?
Vibrator.
Like the rose?
Yeah, whatever.
You don't like the rose?
No, I like a.
It's overhyped.
You said, is it overhyped? Yes. Everybody like different shit. So.
Right.
Do you know if you're supposed to put your clit in the hole?
I don't know.
I think you're supposed to put it in the hole.
Yeah, mine doesn't fit in there.
Okay.
You might have to pull the skin back and get to the sensitive part.
That hole is really small.
It is.
You know, maybe not. Maybe not supposed to put it in there. I'll be wanting to put it in there though.
That'll probably be too intense.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Giving or receiving?
Giving or receiving?
Yeah.
Giving.
Yeah, I figured. Content sex or regular sex?
Content sex.
Really? I did not think you was gonna say that.
Content sex.
I actually thought that was gonna be a dumb question.
Really?
Yeah.
No,
I thought you was gonna say, of course, regular sex.
No, why would I not want to make money?
I mean, I figured that's what you meant when you were getting at that. But,
And I told you, I mean,
but I mean, do you enjoy the sex or it's just about the money?
yes, like if I'm having, like when I'm making content with someone that I like personally or whatever, you know, I just put the phone in the ring light, you know, in the ring stand or whatever, and like kind of forget that it's there. You know, you don't have like you don't always have to perform. Like I like authentic, you know, almost like a voyeurism type. You know, it feels like you don't even know that anyone's watching.
So are you at a point in your life where it's like, shit, if I'm fucking, I might as well record it and make some money off of it?
Like if we're fucking, I would prefer, like if we're fucking, I want to be able to make money at some point.
Well,
like I would want
sense.
that person to get comfortable. You know, it's not like if you can, only way you can fuck me is if we're making kind of like, it's not that. But if we're having good sex and it's, you know, consistent, like let me make some money, or otherwise I'm gonna have to go fuck somebody else.
True. You ain't wrong. So the golden question, you know, that the male audience would love to know the answer to, right? Jasamine Banks, how much does it cost to hit that?
Well, you have to pay for that information. I love it when people ask me this question. So if you want to know, if you want
She
to,
said she loved this question.
I do. I love it so much because I say this shit with my chest. If you want to book me, you have to pay a consultation fee. The consultation fee. You heard right. The consultation fee is $200. Now, when you pay the $200, if you book, that $200 comes off the deposit. Okay? So really, you did not pay for the consultation fee. You only pay for the consultation fee if you don't book.
I'm following you.
Okay?
Okay. So you got to pay for the consultation. Then, once we come to an agreement, now you got to make the deposit.
Yes.
But that consultation is,
that $200 will be applied. Yes,
Right.
it will.
Hey, that's not bad. Because that means you ain't finna waste my time.
And I feel like it also kind of gives you, like, if you're smart, you know, you'll be like, damn, she charged $200 just to talk. You know, and kind of gauge the price a little bit. Like, you know, if you, I'll give y'all a little bit of a hint. If I'm paying $200 just for a consultation fee, the pussy is not $1,000. The head is not $1,000. It's more than that. Okay? So boom.
Right.
It's more than $1,000. If you really want to know, pay the $200.
Can you tell us, you know, where to follow you at and how to keep up with your neck?
Keep up with the neck. Okay,
I watched a couple videos.
If you want to keep up with the neck, Twitter is the best place, I feel like, to...
Yeah, because I pay for the OnlyFans and everything that's on Twitter on the OnlyFans.
Not the full videos, though.
You got to pay extra for the full videos. That's the
No.
finesse.
When's the last time you been on my OnlyFans?
I peep you send messages every day.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I have full-length video. If you like, no one scrolls my feed clearly because I have full-length videos on my feed. I have 40-minute videos on the feed.
Do you?
Yes. When's the last time you looked?
I don't want to embarrass myself on camera right now. It wasn't that long ago.
Have you ever scrolled the feed?
I did. You know, I had to do my little research.
You didn't see any full-length videos on there.
I just saw a lot of 20 seconds, you know.
I will pull it up right now, real quick.
I'll pull it up right now.
I'm finna pull it up right now because you trying me on camera and because I know I have some full-length videos on here.
You got me sounding like a pervert over here.
You know, did you see what they said about OnlyFans making, what was it, like 5.6 billion? Was it last year or this year?